Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are you doing?
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about today?
So today is the fourth lesson. I think we should be, last lesson was Lagna. So today we will be covering about fate, which is
Oh, fate.
associated.
We always blame it on fate. So I
Yeah.
always wanted to
So
know what it's
yeah,
all
what
about
is
in
fate?
astrology.
Yeah. So what is the association of fate, which is associated with the third lesson, which is about Ascendant or Lagna. So always the fate is actually traveling along with Lagna. So we are going to understand in a horoscope, if it is given, how to understand that. So
Mm-hmm.
that is the topic today. So,
Interesting.
so the fate, the definition for that would be the fate is always associated with Lagna,
Mm-hmm.
and the Grahas which are coming towards the Lagna and the Grahas which are actually traveling away from Lagna will be the one which is basically called as fate. So what is the meaning for that is what we are going to do today. So how to understand that? Say, for example,
Mm-hmm.
everybody would have seen their horoscope. So there are 12 houses, okay? And
Mm-hmm.
in the 12 houses, Lagna is the first house. And then
Okay.
traveling clockwise, we are seeing second, third, fourth, etc. And then 12 houses. And there are different meaning for each houses. But
Mm-hmm.
today we are not going to talk about the houses and the meaning. But since we started already with an ascendant, so we are going to
Mm-hmm.
associate with the same ascendant how the fate is associated. And you must have seen, everybody would have seen their horoscope. There are grahas which are occupying in the houses, respective houses from the Lagna. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever grahas which are traveling towards the Lagna, and whatever the grahas which are traveling away will be the one which is basically called as fate. So how are we going to
Which
determine?
you mean from 12th house and second house? Is
No,
this the
no,
focus?
no. I will explain.
Okay.
So, what is the planets which are coming towards the Lagna is from the
Mm-hmm.
cusp of the Lagna to the
Mm-hmm.
seventh house cusp is called as the first invisible half in the horoscope. So, what does the
Okay.
cusp meaning? What is the meaning of cusp? The cusp meaning is Sun is traveling every Rashi in
Mm-hmm.
30 days. Yes, correct 30 days. He will be traveling from one Rashi to another. So
Duration.
when he
Mm-hmm.
is traveling at the junction of that Rashi, ready to
Mm-hmm.
travel to the next Rashi, that is called as
Mm-hmm.
cusp.
Yes. Right.
So the cusp of the first house to the seventh
Mm-hmm.
house in your horoscope is called as
Mm-hmm.
cusp.
Mm-hmm.
And these houses are called as invisible half, meaning your fate is actually waiting, but you may not be able to see those fate. That is the fate which is awaiting for you when you are taking birth. That is the meaning for the cusp of the first house to the seventh house cusp.
Seventh house.
Meaning these are all the fate which you are actually going to face. But what is that fate which is written is invisible
Mm-hmm.
for that particular person who is having that horoscope. But an astrologer should know what is the fate. But the people who are carrying the horoscope may not know what is the fate. So today we are giving
Mm-hmm.
an idea to the people who are actually new to the astrology or learning new to the astrology, want to know what is the
Mm-hmm.
meaning of this year. There are some 12 houses, there are some grahas. What is it actually? So today
Mm-hmm.
we are actually breaking up those session into equally waiting planets for fate and
Mm-hmm.
the planets which are in the visible half and the invisible half.
Non-visible. Okay.
So
Mm-hmm.
invisible half is the cusp of first house, that is Lagna to the seventh house is called as invisible half houses.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever happening inside the house, you cannot see. For
Mm-hmm.
example, can you able to understand what is happening somebody's house inside when they have when the house is locked? You cannot see.
No,
Can
have to get
anybody
in there to see it. Mm-hmm.
correct? Can anyone
Mm-hmm.
see somebody's bank balance?
No,
Okay.
that's
So
private. Mm-hmm.
can anyone see their somebody's personality or any
No,
somebody's health issues in the body? Can you see
unless you know them
by just
personally.
by
No,
just by okay? Can somebody know about their courage, willpower, etc. by seeing?
by seeing, no,
Okay. Somebody's love affair, can you understand? Somebody's weaknesses, you can't.
you can't
Okay.
unless you know them.
So whatever happening very closely between the spouse, can somebody know that?
That's their
But
private.
what is happening outside is the interactions, all the
Mhm.
interactions which are happening between the seventh house to the 12th. You cannot hide it.
Mhm.
Why? Because suppose if you go to profession, so everybody will knew that what profession you are in
Mhm.
because the society is watching you.
Right.
Your fortune, if you are getting a lottery, everybody in
Mhm.
the society will come to know that you got a lottery.
Absolutely.
You cannot hide it. So
Correct.
the ninth house is called Bhagya, hence. You cannot
Mhm.
hide it. And somebody is having a huge gains suddenly from selling a property or something. Can you hide it? Because you are actually selling the property to the society only. Somebody else is buying.
Correct. True.
And when you buy,
They'll come to know.
you will show
Mhm.
off to the society by saying that, yeah, I have
Absolutely.
huge gains. So I changed my car, I changed my jewelry set, I changed my, new house, etc. People will come to know. So
Absolutely.
suddenly, what happened? They were living in this area. Now they are moving to another area. They're buying a huge property. How it is happening? And
Mhm.
what profession you are in, you cannot hide at all.
True.
And when you are spending, also, the people who are near to the grocery shop or anything, they will come to know how much was your bill. You cannot hide it. Can you buy for yourself? No. You have to buy from the supermarket. So the
Correct.
fellows who are in the supermarket also will come to know. When you go to supermarket, people will also observe that what
Mhm.
are you buying. So you cannot hide those things.
Mhm.
So whatever you are spending, 12th house, can you hide it? No, I cannot. You cannot hide. So that is why these these houses, which is after the cusp, is invisible half, meaning
Visible to everyone.
those
Mhm.
houses are the houses which are actually fate. Fate is actually on your backside, meaning these are actually, if you look at your back, you can see those. So these
True.
are all these are all the houses which are past, meaning it is in the fate is influencing because of your past something, or maybe your past life or something which is coming towards you,
Mhm.
which is making you to turn back and make sure that this is the fate which you are already knowing about it because of the past. That is why the seventh
Mhm.
house cusp to the 12th in the chart is the fate which you already knew that you have done something and you are getting returns.
Society also knows. Mhm.
No, no. I'm talking about the reality, the horoscope.
Gotcha.
The
Right.
fate,
Mhm. Mhm.
the fate is already new. No,
Mhm.
the fate is already written and you are aware about it.
Mhm.
And the fate which is not aware is on the houses which are in the Lagna to the seventh cusp.
Seventh house.
That is the only thing which is hidden totally. And you want to know what is
Mhm.
that hidden?
Mhm.
That fate is awaiting to happen.
Mhm.
At the right time, at the right dasha period, or the right trigger point of the graha, the fate will open.
Mhm.
Until then, it is hidden. So, in any horoscope, I want people to understand what is it. So, today, after this session is over, the question for everyone would be take your own horoscope and start commenting what is the houses of 1 to 7 for you, which you feel that the grahas are in your horoscope. Start observing it. And these are the houses where the fate is waiting. So you list down your own grahas by writing that your lagna is Scorpio. And from Scorpio, you observe the
To
first
seventh
seven
house.
houses until Taurus, and
Taurus. Mhm.
until the Taurus, you write what are all the grahas which are there in your horoscope. Those are
Mhm.
the grahas where the fate is waiting for you.
To
And
happen.
from Taurus to the Scorpio again, see what are all the grahas in your horoscope and
Mhm.
write down those horoscope in the comments below, so that
Mhm.
these are all the fates which you are influencing from the past. You are from your past life. And hence it is making you to look back and see that this is what happened because of your past. And that will make you to realize also sometimes through your consciousness that I did something in the past, I'm getting returns. Okay, so this is how you have to understand the fate from the
Fate.
ascendant. So I look for many comments after this session and start
Mhm.
liking and sharing the horoscope. And this will give an idea that the moment your lagna is formed, lagna is not simple a lagna. The Lagna is directly associated with your fate, because from the Lagna's position only I can understand whether the fate is actually coming towards, which are all Grahas which are coming towards the Lagna and which is actually moving away from the Lagna, which I can
The
see only
starting point of our Lagna.
there. So
Fate is
correct. So I want to understand which are all the fate which is invisible and which are all the fate which is visible for you. And that basically from the Grahas which are there in your horoscope. So this is a
got it.
starting point of the basics. So you just observe and start writing down it, so that in the comment box I can able to see whether the people are writing it correctly with the uh, lesson being taught today. Okay. So thanks
Awesome.
everyone, and we'll be looking for comments and start liking and sharing and subscribing our channel for more lessons. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.